It's Brandon here from Property Agent. I wanted to talk to you about something that is really important to me, and it's something that I wanted to convey to everybody that's in real estate. And it's a conversation that I will have frequently with most people that I meet. And just as an insight, over the past 2 years, I have taken over 800 one-on-one consultations. So over 800 people that are in real estate, I have sat down with on a Zoom call or in person and spent a minimum of an hour with them. And I've heard their story. I've learned about their business. I've learned about their pain points, their problems, their frustrations. I understand their outcomes that they wanted to achieve. I understand their beliefs around real estate, around business, around life. And what frequently comes up time and time and time again is the stories that we'll tell ourselves, the stories that they'll tell themselves internally as to why they're not achieving the thing that they want. And more often than not, um, the story that they're telling themselves is that they got into the wrong market, they got into the wrong location. They should have been an area specialist as opposed to an investor specialist. They should have been a buyer's agent instead of a sales agent. They should have gotten into the industry 20 years ago. They should get into shape because people will like them better. They would be more successful if they had more hair, or if they were 3 inches taller, they'd be better off. If they drove a nicer car, they'd be better off. There's always a story that they're telling themselves as to why they're not succeeding. And I wanted to dispel this belief that you have to be a certain person, you have to look a certain way, you have to have a certain background or certain insights or knowledge in order to be successful. And I can tell you, after taking over 800 one-on-one consultations, strategy calls in the last 2 years, that that is not true. Every person that has been successful that I have sat down with and that I've met has been very different. They've looked different, they've sounded different, they've come from different locations and different backgrounds, they have different life stories. But what is common across everybody that is successful is three things. And I wanted to discuss those three things to dispel this disbelief if you've got one, or if you hear of anybody else that has this belief that they can't achieve what they want to achieve because they're lacking something. I want you to take into consideration these three things and treat it as your new lens when you're looking at anything or any belief, or you're listening to any story that you're telling yourself. And the three things are really, really simple. It's one, and is most crucial when you're new to the industry, is the first thing that is most critical to your success in the industry is support. When you are new in the industry, it is the single moment where support is the most important, because without it, you will fail. 80% we know of agents that get into the industry fail miserably within the first 12 months, and 50% of those that are remaining fail in the next 12 months. So there's a grand total of only 10% of people that get their license that are left within 2 years. And that's just those that have retained their license. Only a percentage of them will be making an income great enough to be provided in the lifestyle that they want. And so an incredibly high attrition rate. And a lot of it is to do with support. And it's them having the right team around them, the right leadership, mentorship, coaching, guidance. It's making sure that they have had expectations set correctly, and it's making sure that they've got the right formula. Because there is a formula to real estate, there is a formula for success, and it's making sure that you've got people around you, you've got the right mentors around you, and guides and coaches that are giving you the right advice and the right strategies and formulas to follow to ensure that you're as successful as you can possibly be. And as you succeed and as you grow in the industry, then that advice that you receive needs to be more nuanced, more contextually appropriate. And you actually begin to have to, in order to grow, actually seek out support. In my experience, and everybody that I've worked with and coached and mentored and spoken to, as you grow, as you hit the 200, half a million, $1 million thresholds and more, you need to work with people that are in that range or greater, have been there, done that, so that you can learn from them and then continue to grow through the correct support. Because insights, strategy, advice at the wrong time as you're scaling can be incredibly detrimental to your ability to scale and make a living and an income. And so it doesn't matter if you're new or experienced, or if you're already making millions of dollars. The advice, the support that you have, and those people around you matter greatly, and it will allow you to continue to scale. And so support is one of the three things that is most consistent and common, is that those that are at a level where they are very happy, or those that are at a level in which they want to scale from, have had the right support to get them to the level in which they're at. and they've looked for more and sought out the right advice support as they've scaled in their business. The second thing is the ability to implement. And what I mean by that is begin and do the thing. And so a lot of agents I'll talk to, I can sit down with them for a meal or have a coffee, and I've done this before, and we've spoken about strategies or things that need to be done in order for them to produce the results that they want. And I've met with them, they've had all these bright ideas, they're really excited, they want to get these things in a way and get them done. And then I've gone back and had another catch up with them 2-3 months later, and they've still yet to begin. And so they've lost 2-3 months or more in lost income because they didn't take the necessary steps, they didn't implement and just go and begin. And those that are successful across all of the people that I've met over the last 2 years, the 800 plus people, they have already implemented step 2, 3, and 4 before everybody else has even implemented step 1. The speed in which you can implement and start and get things underway is proportionate to your level of success. Those that pull the trigger quickly, those that just get things done and underway, are those that are far more likely to succeed. I've seen many people believe that they have to have a particular education, they need to have a particular IQ, or they need to be a certain level of smart in order to succeed. And I have seen very, very smart people do very, very poorly. And I've seen others that are on the lower end. It sounds controversial, but it's the reality, on the lower end of the IQ scale, but are very, very, very good at implementing quickly and are very, very successful people. They make a lot of money, and it's the speed in which they can implement the activities that they need to complete. They have an idea, and the moment they've got an idea, they're already implementing. They are successful. So the first one is support, the right people around you. The second one is the speed and with which you can implement what you know you need to do. And the third one is, as comes as no surprise, is consistency. And so the ability to stay consistent long after, that's actually the definition of success, isn't it? The ability to stay consistent long after the initial enthusiasm has waned, is the ability to just keep doing that thing over and over again. And those of you and those that are successful know that success is actually not exciting. It's actually relatively boring because it's just doing the same thing day in and day out. The thing that we know is going to produce the result, doing that again and again and again and again, and then success, money, wealth, it happens slowly and then all at once. It just happens overnight, and you find yourself with everything that you wanted, the wealth, the income, the cash flow that you wanted, and then that provides freedom and opportunity and choice in life, and you can just do whatever the heck you want to do whenever you want to do it. So the out of the three, you've got support. Support is an important one because you're making sure that your support is making sure you've got the right people external to you around you to give you the advice that you need. But it's really important to know that step 2 and step 3 is you. And that's you taking accountability. And those that are successful, and those that I've worked with and I work with, and of the 800 plus consultations that I've taken in the last 2 years, those that are most successful hold themselves accountable to all three. They take accountability and they take control of making sure that they're in the right environment and with the right team and support network around them. But they make sure that they implement because they know that they're responsible for this themselves. They know that there's not a white knight and horse that's going to come right around the corner and save them. They take responsibility for what they know is theirs, which is the ability to implement and do it quickly. But they also hold themselves accountable, and they know that nobody else will. They can't rely on anybody else because that person then needs to be accountable themselves to keep you accountable, right? And so it's important that you hold yourself accountable, you stay consistent, you do what you know needs to be done, because the reality is that simple. If we just did the thing that we know needed to be done, then we'd have the thing that we want and that we're working towards. And if you have all three, that is a recipe for success. So my point here is you don't need to look a certain way, act a certain way. You don't need to have a certain education or come from a particular background. What's really important is find the right people, connect yourself with the right people and put them around you. Is make sure that you implement quickly. When you're 70% ready to do something, just go and do it. Go and do it. And the third thing is that you must have consistency in everything that you do, right? And it's making sure that you have consistency in doing it, but you have consistency in ensuring that it is implemented, and then you're consistent so that it produces a result. Not consistent for a week and it doesn't work and you're out. It's saying, great, I'm going to begin to text everybody in my database and this is a new lead strategy, and I'm going to text everybody every single week for the rest of my career. It's knowing that you can't test that on a week or 2 week or 3 week horizon or time frame. You must test that over a period of time in which you're able to actually review the results and see patterns and get key insights. You can't have long weekends affected, or you can't have one bad or two bad interactions with individuals that don't appreciate your value that you're providing affect your perception of the thing that you're doing, the thing that you're implementing. You must stay consistent for a long period of time in order to have enough evidence to support and show that it is or is not the right thing to be doing. So implement quickly, find people around you to help you and show you what you should be implementing and what you should be doing, and also make sure that you're holding yourself accountable to staying consistent. And it's in the consistency that you'll find that success.